Okay. Hi, it's me. Sorry if there's noise outside. The place that I'm staying at is doing like some construction or something. They said it would be done by like I think Tuesday or Wednesday. No, Wednesday or Thursday, which is after the this voting ends. So sorry about the noise in the background. But anyway, hi, it's me, Steven, Yang Steve 333, all that. Um, So this is weekly design competition 446. I'm recording this on April 28th. The main prompt is a card that transforms itself or other cards into cards of different types. So, like, instead of a minion transforming into a minion or a spell into a spell, these are minions into spells, spells into minions, minions into weapons, stuff like that. And the secondary prompt is shaman cards because they're the transformation class. Okay, so the Hermit Crab King, 6 mana, 2/9 beast. Rush, after attacking, turn into a weapon and transform another random friendly minion into one that costs 2 more. And then the weapon is basically. Okay, it's like Ramonia. It's like Ramonia. Um, so if you attack with it, like in the way it's supposed to be done, it's probably intended. It deals 2 damage 3 times and then transforms like a friendly minion into one that costs 6 more for 6 mana, which is fair, I guess. I guess that's fair, balance wise. 6 mana to buff something up by 6. And then the 3 charges of 2 damage are gravy, I guess. So I suppose that's fair. Uh, yeah, I don't see any huge problems with it, but what do I know, honestly? All right. Oh, this is my card. Storm Titan's Fury. It is a no mana cost shaman nature legendary spell. Each time you play an overload card, transform this into a copy of it. It's Shadow of Demise. Uh, yeah, it's boring. I know. I know. It was my way of just making a simplest possible way of fulfilling the prompt type of deal. Uh, it's boring. Uh, from what I skimmed through, there are not really any other cards that are this bare bones. I don't know if that is a strength or a weakness in this case. I don't know how other people are going to vote, but this is a card that can transform into other types. It can transform into an overload minion or an overload weapon, for example. And it is also a shaman card. So, yeah. Okay. Sephiron. It is a neutral legendary 5 mana 5/5. Battle Cry. Transform an enemy minion into a block of ice once per game. And the block of ice is just a, a guy. um, basically just locks your opponent out of a board spot permanently. I don't think there's like the once per game really does limit this pretty well. Something like I'm trying to think like old Reno used to have that like lockdown effect. People hated it because one spot is backbreaking. But if you transform enemy minion into a block of ice, it's like 6 board spots, which isn't as bad. only really matters for like swarm archetype type of things. So is a 5 mana 5/5 like remove a minion from the game? Is that like broken? Um, the closest comparison I think of off the top of my head, this is going to sound very weird, but it's Sin Runner. It's the 5 mana 6/5 from Nathria that destroys something on Death Rattle. It's definitely stronger than that. A straight up remove a minion from the game effect. That's like 4 mana. So a 5/5 legendary that does it on a body, I guess, is like fine. 5 mana 5/5 destroy a minion. That's like similar to Uninfused Sylvanas. Um, but I mean, Infused Sylvanas is way better than this. Yeah, I figure it's probably fine. Man, this very narrow prompt has brought people's creativity out. It's cool. Okay. Stone Talon Invoker. 3 mana 3/3. Battlecry, discover a minion from your deck. Summon it as a location with 3 durability. Okay. Okay, this one we have cards like Sandcastle that are specifically like, what if a minion was a location? This is just you add the minion to your hands, which if you summon it as a location, should it keep its effects? It would be cool if it did that. I yeah, I just don't like the wording on this. If it's like discover a minion from your deck, trap it in a location with 3 durability instead of summon it as a location. I think that would be more clear because the idea of like you're trapping it in this location means that when you use the location, you get it out. So I just think that the summon it is not exactly the best wording to clarify what the card does. But then again, the whole thing about like, oh, you need to like it needs to transform the minion. Also, location here should be capitalized. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Okay. um, Druid of the Woods. 4 mana 4/2. Druid rare. Choose one. Gain Russian lifesteal or become a weapon. Okay. Um, Druid gets weapons very rarely, but I'm not gonna judge too much. Russian lifesteal, so it's 4 mana, deal 4, heal 4. That's about fair. Then a 4 mana 4/2 weapon's also like fair. If you combine the two, you get the almighty rush weapon. But a 4 mana 4/2 lifesteal weapon is, I think, a bit above rate. There was like the Lightbruner's Hammer that was like a 3 mana 3/2 with similar text. And it's like a little better than a true silver. Eh, like, sure. The thing that really irks me is mostly the fact that Druid gets weapons extremely rarely. That's like the only problem I have with it. Um, Become a weapon. Actually, does become a weapon mean you like immediately equip it? Does it mean that it goes to your hand? Because the only other card I'm pretty sure that like directly says that it becomes a weapon but doesn't like say that you equip it is the Fell Steel Executioner, which transforms in your hand. So do you just have a weapon as a minion on board? So I think if the become a weapon thing does need to like say equip become a weapon and equip this if that was the intention. So yeah, just a minor problem, I guess. Okay. Zalatath. Hang on, I need to look something up. But anyway, it's a 5 mana 3/5 with lifesteal. While your hero is missing 10 or more health, this is a weapon. Or while your hero is missing 9 or less health, this is a minion. Um, I'm pretty sure this shares the name with. Yeah. The Hearthstone library is tweaking out because of like reveal season and stuff. But if I can just pull up the just a little longer. But I need. It's one of Queen Ashara's treasures. Yeah, this guy. After you cast a spell, you deal 2 damage to the enemy hero, lose a durability. Um, this is a very different effect, but very different effect. Um, it's like you almost never want to play the minion. The minion is way too slow. The weapon, on the other hand, wait, hang on. Does this swap while? Does this swap while it's equipped? Oh, then that's like terrible, isn't it? Because um, I mean, it's not absolutely terrible. You just need to basically play Pain Priest, and then you have a 3/5 lifesteal weapon. But if your hero ever heals more up, if you ever attack in such a way that like your hero heals, then heals of like 20 above to the point where it's a minion, um, then your weapon just becomes a minion and they just kill it. That doesn't seem intended. To be fair, I don't think that actually will happen at all. But whatever. Um, yeah, the minion form sucks. The weapon form is really strong. And then you have to shares its name with the Queen of Java treasure, so there's a bit of complications with that. And then if it's intended, and then based on the wording right now, it will swap between a minion and weapon, in when your health modulates to that level, which is like uh, eh. There's a chance that you just attack into something and then you are no longer missing 10 or more health, so your weapon just suddenly turns into a guy and your opponent kills it next turn, and that probably does not feel great. But I think the concept is interesting. The constant shifting is kind of, I don't know. White Queen Hagatha. Battlecry, discover 3 Death Rattle minions. Transform them into spells that trigger their Death Rattles thrice. Okay. So Death Rattles normally don't have targets. you know. Based on how this is shown, I'm assuming that the cost is equal to the cost of the death rattle. Let me just look up all of the death rattles currently in standard. Because I'm pretty sure Shaman isn't a huge death rattle class until it is. Um, yeah. Shaman has exactly one death rattle minion in rotation right now. It's called Nabundo. So you would basically just be pulling from the neutral pool, which I don't know. The neutral pool is weird. You could hit Octosari and draw 24 cards. You could get Building Block Golem, fill your board with one cost cards for 5 mana. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Some of these death rattles even don't really like do anything useful. Like Adaptive Amalgam, shuffle amalgams into your deck, sure. Sleepy Resident, freeze your own minions, basically. Yeah, I just think the variance of this is too much. Plus, like, Shaman doesn't really have a ton of good death rattles to like hit off of this. So there are even some that don't work too, like Escape Pod. There are no adjacent minions. Yeah, unfortunate, but I don't think this works in current, like, in the current way it works. Oh my god, it's also 8 mana, Jesus Christ. Uh, yeah, there's just no way. No way I see this working out. Plagia Builder 5000. It's a 4 mana 1/8 mech with elusive and taunt. After this attacks or gets attacked by a minion, remember its stats and turn into a location. And it gives its stats to a friendly minion. I'm assuming. This is very different from how. Uh, I get it. After this attacks a minion or gets attacked by a minion, it remembers the minion's stats. I think if it, due to the way that attacks works, um, it if it dies from the attack, it does not get to turn into the location. So if you slam into it with an 8/8, does not work. If it gets smacked by a poisonous, does not work. If it dies to a spell, does not work. Um, I'm assuming it keeps its health as its durability as well, because that's how like Sandkazel, Rumonia work. I mean, there's a good chance that this like breaks something. Like if you slam into it with like a slam a Yeti into this, it's every other turn you give a minion +4/+4. I mean, is it really that bad? I don't know. I'll ruminate on this one. I can't- I'd have to think about it more. Prince Arthas, 5 mana 5/5 taunt divine shield. After you summon 8 undead while holding this, become the Lich King. And it's a hero card. 5 mana, 5 armor. Battlecry equip Frostmourne. And Scourge Lord summon 2/1/1 undead with charge. They don't die at the end of the turn. Yeah, this is like, I guess this is fine. 8 undead is, well, it's not that big of an ask. You just, 2 Dreadbound handlers is 6. So it's not that big of an ask. Draw it late in the game. It basically just becomes a taunt divine shield. Um, it's not like that crazy if you do manage to get it on curve. I have a feeling. Frostmourne has not stood the test of time. I think it's right now a 6 mana 4/3 weapon, which is like, sure, I guess. The hero power is not the hero power. The hero power is like definitely an upgrade, but may have the downside of God knows what, clogging your board. So honestly, I think this is fine. I do like the dual natured idea of it because 5 mana 5/5 taunt divine shield is like, it's still generally above rate, and then flavor wise, it tells a story, which I appreciate. All right, 2 mana 5/1 Glacial Rager. Battlecry frees an enemy, spellburst melts into a puddle, and the puddle freezes an enemy and draws a card. Its location. This is a big glacial shard that if you cast a spell, becomes a wind chill. 2 mana 5/1 freeze an enemy. Again, it's big glacial shard. And then the spell burst basically gives you a 0 cost wind chill. This is like, this is pretty stacked, all things considered. Like you can argue this is like, you can argue this is like 2 mana freeze 2 enemies, draw a card. But I mean, there's like Slippery Slope. Slippery Slope is like arguably stronger if you have consistent freeze. This can freeze something 2 turns in a row, while that one just, yeah. It seems strong for a neutral card, but I do think it's an idea. It's a funny wager. Medusa, 6 mana 1/8 Naga. Rush Wind Fury minions attacked by this transform into a random location. Minions attacked by this transform um, into a warp gate. If you, I'm just joking. Minions attacked by this transform into a dollhouse if you're going against it, and they transform into a mattressil if you are smacking your opponents. Yeah, a mattressil was just revealed today. The new legendary druid location. Um, yeah, this is just too high variance. It's the same reason why Laura is kind of like not great. You might hit a location that like the opponent can't use, and sometimes you just hit stuff like puppet theater, and then they just steal your Medusa, and then God, Puppet Theater being in the pool for this is like miserable. Holy shit. Yeah, yeah. This is just too high variance for my liking. Sorry, buddy. Elemental Shaping. While this is in your hand, transform into a random elemental you can play. Zero, zero mana, nature spell. Sure. Um, there are no zero cost elementals, so remember that. So just having this always on curve card in your hand so that you can always keep up like elemental chains. I don't mind it. Um, not in Emerald Dream though, because no elementals. At least not till the mini set. Who knows? In any case, uh, you can argue this has no reason to be a spell. Since elementals are all minions, you could just put this on like a 1 mana 1/1 instead, and it would do the same exact thing. So this is a spell only for the reason that it needs to transform from a spell to a minion. So yeah, sure. It's fine. It just has no reason to be a spell. That's how I feel about it. Torrent Conjurer, 2 mana 3/3. Battle Cry. Return a friendly minion to your hand. Transform it into a spell that costs 3 more, keeping its original cost. First of all, this is an unconditional 2 mana 3/3. That if you played a 1 drop, on turn 1, cheats you 3 mana, while also being way overstated. So I have a feeling this is like really absurdly strong. Um, as for the effect, it's fine. It's funny with like giants because there aren't spells that go up that high. But otherwise, I don't see a problem with it. It's just a funny little transformation card. Turn a minion into a spell at a discount. The big problems I have with it are like giants because if it like all acts as one part of the effect, there's a chance it tries to transform into a spell that doesn't of a cost that doesn't exist. But then again, transform rules I think have been changed a ton, so it'd probably just become like a 10 mana spell. And the fact that it's a 2 mana 3/3 with upside, that one is the bigger one that's making me like not like it very much. Okay. Curse of Nature. Choose an enemy minion, transform it into a random nature spell, put it in your hand. It is a nature spell. Um, this is life sentence get plus get a card. Um, I don't think Shaman is like a super hard removal class. As weird as that sounds. They have like hacks, but like that's technically not exactly hard removal. Anyway, what am I saying? Um, I guess this is fine. I don't know. Seems a little strong. Removal with upside. Gets around death rattles. Yeah, my sense is that it's really strong, but I don't think it's like egregious. If it said like remove an enemy minion from the game, get a random nature spell, it would do the same thing. Don't know why it has to transform a minion into a spell like this. Twisted Squall. Lifesteal, 3 mana, 3/3 elemental. If the last card you played was an elemental, this is a spell while it is in your hand. And it's like Lifesteal, deal 3 damage, 3 uses left. This is. This one is sick. I really like this one. Because, like, okay, you presumably you use the spell side of it. You lifesteal, deal 3 damage, and then it turns back into an elemental. Presumably it's a 3/2 because you used one of the uses. And then you have to play another elemental to get the squall again. So it creates this really cool back and forth ping between this playing elementals and playing this spell health drink. And then at any point you can just break it if you need to play an elemental and just have like this lifesteal guy. I think this is like really cool. I think this is really cool. I think honestly this one will probably win like the secondary prompt in my opinion, at least. Because the other shaman cards have been well, there's been mine, but mine's not exciting at all. This one's like exciting and seems like a ton of fun to play, which is great. Honora, 2 mana 1/2 paladin undead. Your minions have +1/+1. After 5 friendly minions die, transform this into an aura. And then the aura, same thing. After 5 friendly minions die, transform this into an aura. Oh, god damn it. It's an aura. So it's aura of an aura. God damn it. Anyway, aura should be capitalized. I'm pretty sure. But like sure. Raid leader in absolute shambles. So obviously you kill 5 of their minions and then you kill this. It's not that big of a deal to get through. Yeah, this card's fine, I'm pretty sure. Um, something continuous health buffs are something they don't really do anymore because it gets confusing, but whatever. Yeah, this card's fine. It's funny. All right. God. 4 mana, 4/5, warrior legendary Logosh. Rush. After this attacks and kills a legendary minion, return to your hand as King Varian. King Varian is a 4 mana, 5 armor hero. Battle cry. Equip a 4/1 Charlemagne that doesn't lose durability. And then the hero power is 2 mana, deal forward it to a damaged enemy minion. First obvious problem is there are decks that don't really run legendary minions. So in that case, this is just a 4 mana 4/5. You never want to have cards that are conditional on your opponent doing stuff. Because then there is a chance that it does not work. Like doing stuff that's more conditional. You can easily make decks without legendaries. I mean, they won't be amazing decks, but they will be decks. So that's like the big problem with it. Um, and then the full one, Charlemagne that doesn't lose durability, that's like a foam render. Uh, 4 damage each turn, plus 4 damage from the hero power to taunts that might stand in your way. I don't know. It probably just wouldn't be a fun card to play with, because the whole you need to kill a legendary type thing. So, yeah, unfortunate. Quest Giver, 4 mana 5/4 neutral. Battlecry, send a random minion in your hand on a 3-turn quest. It returns as a random hero card. In an expansion that would have a lot of hero cards, this is fine. uh, it's kind of weird. I don't know why you'd want like hero cards. Hero cards are like centerpieces of strategies usually. It also seems kind of weird for like an epic, something you run 2 copies in your deck to give you presumably like big capstone um, legendaries from that set. Like epics that give legendaries like Treacherous Tormentor. uh, I guess Treacherous Tormentor like interacts with the legendaries in weird way, gives them dark gifts. Paparazzi does not get half of the legendaries from the set it's from. The Treacherous Tormentor can grab legendaries from any time and place. Uh, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. Like if this was in a set with a lot of hero cards, then like this epic giving a big capstone hero is ah it's like a bit strange. And then also like, do you really need to discard a minion in your hand to do this? What if you just got a random hero card? You know Maestra exists, right? It's just 1 more mana. It doesn't require you to wait turns. It doesn't require you to discard stuff. Yeah, it just irks me the wrong way. I'm sorry. Mischievous Sprite. Death Rattle. Both players draw a spell. Non-nature spells are transformed into 2/2 treants. So uh, obviously, if you're running only nature spells, this is draw a card, give your opponent a treant. Draw a nature spell, give your opponent a treant. It's like fine. It's much worse than Prize Vendor. Worse than Blazing Accretion, but Blazing Accretion is like nasty. So yeah, this card's fine, I guess. It's funny to just give. It would be funny just to give your opponent a tree. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and burn through my thought power to try and like argue against this. This card's fine. All right. Back to this card. because I still haven't decided fully. Um, like a big repeatable buff through something like a there was this that priest location that gave stats and drew cards. Probably be worse than that. If you give it is a lot of stats though. If you trade it up against like another 4 drop, it's just a lot of stats. I don't know how useful it would be. It's just a lot of stats. I guess this also kind of falls into the um, relying on your opponent to do something problem, where it's like if you smack into like a 1/1, then it just gives 1/1. Then your little thing just gives 1/1 a whole bunch, and you're really sad. If it gets smacked into by an ogre, suddenly it gives +6/+6, and you're bawling. So I think too high variance, uh, too reliant on your opponent to do stuff. So yeah, I would say that's like my biggest problem with it. The reason it irks me. All right, let's. This one, this one's funny, arguably fair too. This is my card. I personally think it's fine. Somebody mentioned like, oh, what if it took off the overload? But getting a copy of a card already is pretty good. Shadow Demise saw a lot of play, so I figured this would probably see some play too. This one, my sense is that it's fine as like a one-time legendary. This one, the wording just irks me. Trap it inside a location instead of summon it as a location. If it wasn't for the prompts, trap it inside would probably be better wording. This one, confused about what become a weapon means. Become a weapon and equip it would fix all those problems. This one I think is fine. Kind of weird with it swapping between minion and weapon, like permanently, might be a bit confusing. This one, the death rattles are just not there, man. They're just not there. And it's way too expensive for that, I'm probably. This one, to rely on your opponent doing stuff, and too high variance, probably. This one, it's cute. I like the modularity, the fact that it's not completely dead if you can't quite do the condition in time. And it's not that big of an upgrade, to be honest. Not that big of an upgrade from like base Death Knight. It's just like a solid guy. This one is funny. Uh, I I can't in good conscience. Well, yeah, I can't in good conscience vote for this because quite strong. This is way too high variance, and Puppet Theater being in the pool kind of sucks for it. This one has no reason to be a spell. Could be a minion, and would make more sense as a minion. It's only a spell because it has to be for the prompt. This one is just overstandard with upside and has issues with like giants. This one is like fine, I guess. A little bit above rate, I assume, but it's like fine. This card I love. This card is really cool. This card's like fine too. This one relies too much on your opponent doing stuff, doing specific stuff you need. This one just irks me. Uh, why have to send minions on quests? Why not just give you the hero cards directly? Yeah. And this one is just a fine card. Bit annoying, but it's funny. So I'll give it a pass. Alright, that's that.